Okay, today's video, we have a good one for you here. This is what I call a PMAX competitor campaign. You could also basically substitute PMAX for shopping campaign. PMAX is a better way of running a shopping campaign today, has been for a while. But instead of, in short here, on what this strategy is that can make you millions of dollars in the shortest amount of time possible, essentially, is instead of just setting up a PMAX campaign to have your ads run on Google Shopping, and just targeting whoever Google wants to basically target with your campaign, you just tell Google to target people who've been on your competitor sites already. This cuts down the time it takes for Google to figure out how to get you a profitable sale, essentially, and from your ad spend, make an ROI that you need to make to pay for your product cost, cover all your main expenses, and so forth. So otherwise, the system, as Google has it set up, is going to run through a bunch of tests and iterations of how to run your ads, and eventually it'll get to the result. This process essentially shortcuts the entire process I just described. Because obviously, if somebody's been to your competitor's site already, that person's got to be 5 to 10 times more likely to be wanting to buy something from your market than if they were just starting out looking around in your market. Because a lot of people that search for stuff online don't end up buying. It's just a small percentage ends up buying. But if somebody's looking for specific products from your competitor, particularly ones that are directly competitive or directly compete with the products you sell, and then have the ability to go after them exactly, you're going to make it so basically your campaign will work right away. Long story short, it's just a little bit more time to set up, but it will cut out all the having to spend money up front for most of you guys, or, and when it doesn't, it'll take a little bit of time so that you can get to the part of making actual money right away. So I'm going to tell you how to set this up specifically. And then from there, you could go ahead and get the same kind of results for yourself. I'll also give a couple stories about different companies where we did this with and for as well. All right. So with that said, I will jump right into the content. So I always tell you guys the most common reason people fail on Google Ads is due to impatience. You want the results now. We got a PPC agency here, and at least half of the clients that want to work with us, they don't want to wait for results. They want it now, because people wait until their sales results are in the garbage can and they're about ready to go out of business. Then they want to hire our agency, which that's not the best time to hire an agency. It's when you're making money, when you have all that extra money. You don't go ahead and just blow it. You use it to spend hiring consultants to make your stuff better. Totally flips the script, and you end up in a bad situation to begin with then. Anyway, so people are impatient. They want results now, but then as a result of that, they want us to keep reacting, which I got to tell them, reacting just because the results are bad to make the results come up faster. It's not how it works. You're going to end up screwing your results up and screwing yourself even harder doing that. But when people are managing their campaign by themselves, that's exactly what they usually do in those situations. Because they want results now, or the results dipped a little bit, let's say, their emotions start taking over. Oh my God, what if this doesn't come back? Then I can't pay my staff. Then my staff are going to quit. Then I'm going to go out of business. And then my wife's going to leave me. And then blah, 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 blah. And then when people are scared, the reptilian part of your brain says either fight or flight. Or play dead, technically. And so people, instead of the running away, they fight. And they think the way to fix it is by taking action. It's the other choice that they should stick with. Why is that? Because the entire system that Google has is based upon an algorithm. People, fight with me all the time because they don't understand this. And the bigger reason is they don't want to believe it. They want to believe it's a switch. If I just go into their account and flip the right switch, instantly the results will be great. Even if you have good actions that you're taking in your ad account, it's still, every action is going to send your results negative before they go positive, because the algorithm that determines how to run your ads and determines which people your ads get in front of and when, that's all based upon previous results in your account. So you got to build up a history just for Google to know which products work for which type of people. How, people that and ultimately find out if they show your ad for this product on a Friday and the person's a male and they're over 45, it's a sale every time. Well, they don't know that for a while. And when you go in there tinkering with your account, then the algorithm goes, oh shit, now we got to relearn everything that we knew. And so that's why you want to make as little changes to your account as possible. So if the results go down, they'll make a change, which will cause the results to go down even more. They'll make another change, they'll cause the results to go down even more. And pretty soon they have their whole account unraveled and they're back to square one, back when they first started. And they were their own worst enemy. By the way, as a side antidote, we had a company who sold printer toner, and we had run his account setup as is in his account that was running for over 10 years, that was getting pretty good results in a brand new ad account. That new ad account got about 5% of the results as the old ad account did. That's how much, in other words, your previous results in your account will dictate how much you're able to make with Google ads. So, but for the most part, most people fail. 90% who try Google ads fail because they start it up, they think it's an instant thing, it doesn't work, and then they make a bunch of changes so they never get anywhere because the algorithm can't learn anything if you're constantly making changes, versus hiring somebody who knows what they're doing and then waiting an appropriate amount of time between each change. Because people don't know what they're doing and they try to save, they don't want to pay somebody to help them. They make a change. Oh, that didn't work. I'll make another change. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, it's worse. It's worse. Let's make another change. And they end up not getting anywhere. Okay, so with all that said, what am I getting to here with this? With all this said, it takes a long time to get results typically with an ad account and a campaign you set up within your ad account, okay? The average person that I deal with, they're not going to start making money for 3 to 6 months after we start up our account. And that's for if you have an item that sells fairly well and it isn't too competitive. If you're in a very competitive market and you don't have anything particularly better than the rest of the market, it could be 12 months before you break even after all your expenses. That's just how it is. For anything that's going to make you millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, it's not going to be easy to get in. And if it was, your competitors would have already used it already. So it takes a long time to do this. And wouldn't it be better if there was a way that the algorithm doesn't have to test so many things to figure out where's those home run prospects that if they show you those so they can figure out who to show your ad to that normally will buy and not waste your time and your money clicking to your website and not buying. And that is done with competitor data. You use your competitor's budget and all the money that they have to spend to get people to their website and figure out how to get people to their website that'll buy and piggyback on it. So, because if they look at for a specific item on their site, they did a lot to get that person. It took a lot of money to get somebody interested in that item. If you could slip in there last second, you don't have to do, 20% of the work that competitor had to get that person down to the point where they're looking at for an individual model of product from them. And so when you tell Google, just don't even do all this rest of this crap that you're normally going to do. Just go after the people that are looking at my competitors' items. 80% of the work and time that it takes to get up and going, it's cut out of the process completely. Furthermore, by the way, if you do this, you don't have to make any changes. Once you got this set up, yes, it might take a little bit of time to get going, but not very long. And you can rest easy because once it's set up the way that I'm telling you here, you don't have to make any changes. It should just work automatically. That's it. So if you want super quick results on PMAX, you can simply map out which of your competitors' products compete directly with yours, item by item, then create separate asset groups for each of those groupings using a custom intent audience in each one to tell Google which users to target. You want to target everyone who's searched for and been on your competitor's site before. So that's a mouthful, but basically, long story short, this is basically what it is here. You're going to start out by making a list of every one of your competitors' items that they sell that directly compete with items that you sell. And you're going to play a matchup game. Competitor item A directly competes with this product, this product, this product. And you're going to do this in a spreadsheet, okay? Competitor's product B, it competes with just one item here that I sell. Competitor's product C, it actually competes with these two products here. And you're going to do all that, what I call competitor mapping itself. Once you've done all that, you're going to go in to create what is called a custom intent audience, as I indicated here. And you're going to create a custom intent audience for every competitor item that was on your list itself. So if you have, let's say, 400 items that your competitors sell that directly compete with at least one of the items that you sell, well, you're going to create literally 400 different custom intent audiences, one for each one of those direct competitors' products. And when you set it up, you're going to do the searched for and been on the competitor's site. So, because there's a way, you create a custom intent audience, you could do it either, you could say, hey, Google, I want this audience to be for people who searched for a certain keyword, or you could do it, they searched for a keyword, searched for this keyword, or they've been on one of these competitor sites. You want to do both, okay? So, in other words, each one of these audiences that you create will be targeting people that were looking for each one of your direct competitors' products that directly compete with products that you sell here. Once you got all those audiences created, then you're going to create your asset groups in your PMAX campaign. So I recommend just starting up a new PMAX campaign for yourself. And if you have existing PMAX campaigns going but they're not working, just shut them off, because they're going to compete with the new campaign that you have here. So therefore, just shut it off. If you're running a campaign and it's profitable and you want to make a little extra money, then I recommend the new campaign just running it at a smaller budget. It'll take longer to get working, but it'll eventually work anyway. It'll add to your overall sales for both campaigns will be more than what you got from your first campaign. But you create a PMAX campaign, and then you're going to create an asset group for each individual item that you sell. Okay? And then in each item, in each asset group that just sells one of your products, you're going to put under the audience signals, you're going to target the products that directly compete with that product. Because you got a custom intent audience set up for every one of your direct competitors' products, you will put in the excuse me, for the audience signal itself, you're going to put either 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever audience signals for that individual product. Going back to what I said before, if there's 3 different competitor products that directly compete with one of your products, well, the asset group that targets that one product will then, under the audience signals, have 3 custom intent audience listed within it or inside of it. So what this ultimately does is it tells Google, hey, Of course, these are signals, audience signals. There's no guarantee it only targets these, but it tells Google, hey, before you test anything else, essentially, test the people that are in these custom intent audiences first. And they'll go ahead and do that. So ultimately, they'll test having your ad show up only for that item, only if somebody has searched for or been on your competitor's website looking at that exact item that directly competes with the item itself. So that ultimately, if people are going to click on your shopping ad for that individual item, you know that person is perfectly qualified for your item as well, because you already did the research to see if you were directly compared to or directly comparable to those other items. And then, so instead of showing your ads to everybody, it only shows your shopping ad to that person if they've been on one of those products that directly compete with that product. So every single product that you sell that is being promoted in PMAX is only going to show up if somebody's been interested in that competitor's product that directly competes with the item in question. Okay? And then the last step here being, you're going to set your target ROAS on that PMAX campaign real low. Just put it at like 25% or whatever. And then you're going to slowly raise the target ROAS as sales come in. This makes sure that you get some traction right away in terms of getting shown. You get a sale, maybe raise it target ROAS to like 40%. You get another sale real quick, raise it to maybe 60%. That way you aren't cutting off the impressions you're getting. And within a month or so, you should already have a decently high target ROAS. And so instead of taking 6 months for a campaign to work well, it could take a month. So ultimately, Google will start to try stuff outside of the people that match your custom intent audiences, but they'll find out it doesn't work, and they're mainly going to go after your custom intent audience people. So that's how you get a PMAX campaign to work right away, essentially. I know the audience signals work because we've done testing like where I'll set up in the audience signals only target the top 20% of income earners. And then I'll go ahead and fake my location in an area where I know it's not the top 20% of income demographic, and my shopping ads won't show up. But if I fake it so I am in the top 20%, the ads will show up. So it actually does work. Where it doesn't actually work, those audience signals don't do anything, is if they test your audience signals out and the return isn't automatically better than the return that they're able to get on their own with the amount of data that they have about running your campaigns at that given time. But because your custom intent audiences are so dialed in and so effective, they're basically just going to lean on the custom intent audiences to run your ads. Yes, they might try some other stuff, but until they've extracted all the value out of all the people in those custom intent audiences, they're going to just lean on the custom intent audiences to run your ads for. Maybe when they max out getting the sales on the custom intent audiences, they'll start to divert and test other things, but that's okay. Because if 10-20% of your ad spend goes to test other things, your overall ROI in the campaign isn't going to be that bad still, which is actually what you want, by the way. I always talk about on this channel how what you should do at your company when you're trying to build up an ad account is to start with the easy stuff first. That's the most likely to get a high ROI right away, and then use that to finance another thing that's the second easiest thing to do, and then keep doing that over and over again. And so you'll finance the setup of other campaigns with the profits that come from campaigns that you've already set up that are already working. So I like to always have 10 to 20% of my budget just going to stuff that is in data gathering mode to be in a position where we can make it work, so we can look at what works and what doesn't work with it and eventually massage it so that, you know, the stuff that is working, the 20% that is working, we can single that out and then it will work. And then you start up another campaign and do the same thing there. So 10, 20% is just investment in the future. All right. So as per starting out PMAX, you could start out just targeting your competitor audiences like that and get results right away, and then start dipping into other people once that's working already, ultimately. So anyway, that is pretty much the method in a nutshell that I wanted to give you here today. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have a lot of other content on this channel about other money-making strategies, how to make money with Facebook ads, Google ads, and such, because I manage 50 plus campaigns here at my agency for our clients on an ongoing basis. I run an agency that just does ad management, and therefore the information I'm giving you here is real raw stuff that actually works. It's better information that you're going to get elsewhere on YouTube from YouTubers or people that manage a couple campaigns here and there. So therefore you want to subscribe. If you do the stuff I tell you on this channel, you will become rich. It's just a matter of going out and doing it. And you got something decent to sell, of course. Throw that caveat in. So, and if you like the channel, I also got a blog at GarrettTPPC.com/blog. You can find my written material there. Same kind of content is there. I manage campaigns for clients, as I mentioned on this video a couple times. If you're looking for guaranteed results on your campaigns where we don't get paid, or you don't have to pay the consultant you're working with until you get more sales results from your ad campaigns or from your campaigns in general, reach out to me and I'll look at your stuff and see how much results I can get you totally for free, and then what we could get for you in terms of results in the future before we would even take a payment. We're the only ones in the market doing it, and so this should tell you something about the quality of the results that we provide at our agency. So be happy to look at your stuff and see if it's possible if we can work together. Just reach out to me at GarrettTPPC.com and we'll see if we could have a chat. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days. Ask me any PPC related or ad related question you'd like. I'd be happy to try to help you out if I can. But I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next one where we have another great strategy for you there. See you later.